Hi Gemini, welcome to your monthly reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what feels right and with what does resonate with your own life experiences during this time. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of June, as usual, I have a special sales offer available. And for this month, it's called Two Sides, One Story. And it's basically a reading that looks upon the type of shadow archetype and the lighter archetype presented in a situation, question you might have in mind about that same type of duality. So if you would like to know more details about that special offer or any other of my services, just email me. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do that by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So Gemini, it does feel like the month of June brings forward a heavy decision process. There seems to be something here that some of you might be experiencing throughout your season that feels a little bit like under pressure kind of situation. For some of you, there's that diamond that's going to come out of this amount of pressure. So whatever it is that you're feeling kind of stressed about, for some of you will pay off big time, because from all of that you will see that there's a very good favorable result coming up, something that can give you immense joy in the end of the line. So even though the process might be filled with stress and challenge and tribulation, for some of you, if you're wondering if something that you're putting so much effort and giving so much of energy will pay off or not, there's a significant amount of Gemini souls that I'm connecting that yes, it will pay off, even though it's kind of really heavy work. For others of you, there's something kind of coming out of you as a process of a transformation that you're emerging from. It's almost like really a transformation from the caterpillar to the butterfly. So some of you are really breaking free from a difficult period, from a period where maybe you felt like you were not in your full expression of your power, of your beauty, of your capacities. There's another group of Geminis that have not felt like themselves for a while. And June brings this possibility for some of you to really return to a sense of self in a very good way. It's like feeling lighter, feeling beautified by all of this process you've been through. For some of you, there's still something that might not be the most kind of a sweet, deal here. It's like June presents with itself a great opportunity of growth and compensation. But again, the process to it is more sour than sweet, meaning that there has been things that some of you Geminis needed to learn the hard way. There's some things here also for some Geminis that is relying or depending on your ability, on your courage to end things that are not good for you, for your life and for your mental state. So you move from a past experience that has a Two of Swords into a future one that has a Ten of Swords. So there's a lot that mentally and as well in terms of communication, you're wrapping up. Okay, so there's difficulties that have been a part of your life lately that you're wrapping up. And when we're wrapping up, bad things, bad times, bad memories, bad situations, bad relationships, we are almost like reviewing something that could, be a year's process in a month, and that can bring us down, and that can make us feel like we're reliving those same things all over again, or just make us feel overwhelmed by an immense wave of depression or melancholy, as I'm feeling for some of you. It's not a time where the universe really wants you or supports you in keeping keeping yourself attached to behaviors that are destructive and self-harming, keeping yourself connected with relationships that might be toxic, extending yourself in situations that also undermine your sense of self and power. For some of you, you might be dealing with an abusive relationship, or a person that is trying to instigate here this process of the Ten of Swords, trying to instigate through their presence, this awareness of you that it needs to come to an end. For some, it could be a fire sign presence in your life. You do have the King of Wands. So it could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius figure that stands prominently in your month. Even though this is in the soul position, for some Geminis, this is representative of you needing to take the lead. And even though there might be difficult decisions that, yes, you're to make, you need to make them regardless. It's like they're difficult. You're going to feel, heavy upon whatever it is that this represents. But in the end, think about the long term. Think about the freedom or the possibilities that those tough decisions will give you in the end. And for others of you, this is also about having someone really deep in your heart, having someone that you're in conflict about. For some of you, there's a real sense of not knowing if you should stick with a person or not, if you should stick with a relationship or not, as you also have the Lovers here. So this is Gemini card. This is Gemini season. So there's a lot of heavy packed influence when it comes to reviewing your life choices, reviewing the choices you're making or not making, the possibilities you're exploring or not exploring, and the relationships you're presented with. And it's in an unconscious position, so it's something that you're kind of being pushed to get, this awareness, but you might need really to be kind of almost like provoked. You might need to face, this conflict outside of you to understand that there's a part to it that obviously speaks to you internally. Also, that you having here the Knight of Swords, so this king, whomever this person is, for some is a love interest, for some I also picking that might be an authority figure, like a boss, a father figure, someone here that kind of either abuses their power or is trying somehow to instigate their influence in you in a way that is negative, in a way that it's meant to put you down or question your sense again of power over, a situation, or is someone that doesn't like you to be on your A game. It could be someone that kind of feels threatened by your success. It can be someone that feels like you pose a threat to a position that they want. For other Geminis, I feel like there's a lot to come that you're kind of, again, you're not able to see, because right now you're seeing limitations, you're seeing problems, you're seeing mental barriers, you're seeing things that keep you from, again, thinking about the long term. There's a side to this month for some of you Geminis that is extremely relevant, meaning that this can be one of those times of the year that can be the most important and significant. Obviously, being your season, that is also already kind of implied, but having Venus retrograde in your sign, and the eclipses that we're going in the North Node, and the eclipses we're going to have in the Gemini Sagittarius polarity. So it's those times where you're forced to evolve. So in June, when you're not allowing yourself to bring forward to a point of evolution and betterment, or when there's someone or something outside of you that is trying to stop you somehow from breaking free or achieving your greatness, this is when this conflict that I was speaking about is going to be felt the most, is when you're not allowed to come into the full expression of you, when you're not allowed to live, feel, relate, communicate in a way that feels right and natural to you. And some of you have lost track of what that is, so you're like, again, in a moment where this is about a sense of great discovery. Some of you have forgotten what it is to be you. What's your essence? So here with the Lovers in your unconscious, like your essence is there, but it's kind of buried because the focus has been in psychological damage, difficulties, stress, or just, attached to events and situations that have been more negative than positive. And also stress on itself can really be something that in the long term and as we get used to it, becomes more like a poison to our own sense of self. For some of you Geminis, it's important that you make the right questions. So I feel like for some of you there might also be something here during June that is about the need to make the right questions. So focus on that. When you want to know something, make sure that you're phrasing what you want to know the right way, so you can really get the answer you need. Some of you, I keep getting like this need to be brave, be brave, Gemini. So with the King of Wands here, that's definitely something to embody in terms of a soul position, is that you are a courageous, fiery character. When you choose to be, you're able to take risks, you're a visionary, you can take on that tool you have on your spirit and create your path. You don't need anyone to create your path for you, because I feel like for some of you Geminis, there's an issue here of someone, either you want someone to make the path for you, to create something for you, because you feel like you don't have the power to do that or the abilities to do that, or someone is trying to impose that, someone is trying to create their own vision of what your path should look like, and you need to put a stop and feel like, is this my life? Is this what I want? Is this what I identify myself with? Or, do I need to put like this line on the sand where, no, this is my path, my choices, the things I want? There might be issues in relationships when it comes to that. Maybe you and your partner have different views on what each other should be doing, and if you have been submissive or permissive, giving up too much of your power and your rights to your significant other or to someone you might be in a close relationship with, this month Spirit wants you to focus elsewhere, whatever that means to you. So focus elsewhere is, taking your energy into something, that makes you feel good, that makes you feel like you have a voice and you have freedom to act. If something doesn't give you permission to use your voice, your power, the power of choice, it's a big no, Gemini. So I hope you have a great month and season. I want to thank all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see each other soon.